Have you ever been caught off guard by a disrespectful remark, a tactless joke, or a public slight that left you feeling diminished and undervalued? It's a universal experience, a moment where your dignity feels threatened, and the instinctive reaction is often a mix of anger, embarrassment, and confusion. The workplace, social gatherings, and even family interactions can become battlegrounds for these subtle power plays, where some individuals attempt to elevate themselves by diminishing others. The temptation might be to lash out, to retaliate with an equally cutting remark, but such reactions often escalate the situation and can leave you feeling even more drained and less in control. But what if there was a better way? What if you could navigate these situations with grace, confidence, and a profound sense of inner peace? What if, instead of reacting, you could respond in a manner that not only protects your self-worth, but actually earns your respect, even from those who habitually disregard the feelings of others? This exploration delves into practical strategies, drawing inspiration from the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy to empower you to handle disrespect with dignity, transforming uncomfortable moments into opportunities to affirm your inherent value and cultivate lasting respect. The following exploration will provide you with tools to stand your ground, command respect, and ultimately live a life guided by self-worth and resilience, all while adhering to YouTube's fair use policies. Before diving into specific techniques, it's crucial to understand the underlying motivations behind disrespectful behavior. It's easy to assume that such actions stem from personal animosity, that someone dislikes you and is intentionally trying to cause harm. While that can sometimes be the case, the reality is often more nuanced. More frequently, disrespect arises from a sense of opportunism, a misguided belief that diminishing others will somehow elevate one's own status. These individuals see those around them as rungs on a ladder, and they believe that pushing others down will help them climb higher. This behavior isn't limited to any specific environment. It can manifest in workplaces, where colleagues compete for recognition, in social circles, where individuals vie for attention, and even within families, where long-standing power dynamics can fuel subtle acts of disrespect. It's a pervasive pattern driven by insecurity and a lack of genuine self-esteem. A key insight from Stoic philosophy is that true strength lies not in dominating others, but in mastering oneself. Rather than focusing on changing the behavior of those around you, concentrate on cultivating your own inner resilience and developing strategies to respond to disrespect in a way that reflects your values and reinforces your self-worth. As Marcus Aurelius, the renowned Stoic emperor, wisely observed, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This understanding is the cornerstone of navigating disrespectful situations with grace and effectiveness. Stoicism offers a powerful framework for dealing with disrespect, emphasizing inner strength, self-control, and the establishment of firm personal boundaries. It teaches that respect is not something to be demanded or imposed upon others, but rather something that is earned through consistent, virtuous conduct. It's about how you carry yourself, how you communicate your value, and how you establish clear boundaries that protect your self-worth. It is a conscious decision to not allow others to use you as a stepping stone to boost their own image. This requires demonstrating a clear understanding of your own worth and a steadfast refusal to be shaken by cheap remarks or undermining actions. The core principle is that you have control over your own reactions and emotions, regardless of the external circumstances. By mastering your inner state, you can respond to disrespect with calmness, clarity, and a quiet strength that commands respect from those around you. Stoicism reminds us that our character is reflected in how we respond to uncomfortable situations. Choosing calmness and refusing to be drawn into negativity gains the respect of others and reinforces our own self-respect. This approach doesn't involve aggression or retaliation. Instead, it focuses on setting clear expectations for respectful communication and demonstrating that you will not tolerate being treated in a way that diminishes your value. Tip 1. First impressions, projecting confidence and respect. First impressions carry immense weight. shaping how others perceive you and setting the tone for future interactions. Interestingly, the impact of a first impression often hinges less on the words you speak and more on the nonverbal cues you project. Consider the scenario of entering a networking event. The way you carry yourself, the way you make eye contact, and even the simple act of standing up to greet someone can communicate volumes about your confidence and self-worth. These seemingly small gestures are, in fact, powerful expressions of your inner state, and they can significantly influence how others treat you. The Stoics understood the importance of these subtle cues, recognizing that they are not merely superficial formalities, but rather essential elements of self-presentation. Actions like standing up and maintaining eye contact during a greeting are not just good manners. They're deliberate acts that communicate equality, readiness, and mutual respect. This aligns with a core Stoic principle. How you present yourself reflects your values and shapes how others see you. Picture yourself at a professional seminar, where networking is the primary goal. Amidst the attendees, one individual stands out. Whether greeting a senior executive or thanking a waiter for refilling his coffee, he consistently stands up, makes direct eye contact, and engages fully. His demeanor isn't flashy or overly dramatic. Rather, it's characterized by a quiet confidence and sincerity. He effortlessly commands respect, not because of the words he speaks, but because of the way he carries himself. In stark contrast, consider another attendee who remains seated during every greeting. While his intentions may not be malicious, perhaps it's simply a habit. This seemingly minor action creates an unspoken barrier. Subconsciously, people take him less seriously, even though he may be just as capable as anyone else in the room. This example highlights a crucial truth. Standing up isn't just about politeness. It's about acknowledging the other person's value and asserting your own. It's a declaration of how you value yourself and others. The lesson is clear. By rising to greet someone, you're not simply performing an act of courtesy. You're making a declaration about your own self-worth and the respect you hold for others. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control. We can't control how others perceive us, but we can control our behavior, our presentation, and the way we communicate our worth through small yet meaningful actions. Practical application. Incorporate this lesson into your daily life by paying attention to your behavior in everyday encounters. Whether you're meeting someone in the office, at a cafe, or even during a virtual meeting, be fully present. Stand up when greeting someone. Maintain eye contact and project confidence through your body language. These simple gestures will not only earn you respect, but also emphasize your inherent value, reflecting Stoic principles in action. First impressions aren't merely about appearances. They're about showcasing your confidence, self-respect, and the respect you have for others. This embodies the essence of Stoicism: to live with intention, to pay attention to the small things, and to allow those actions to define who you are. The next time you meet someone, rise to the occasion, look them in the eye, and let your actions speak louder than words. Tip 2. Handling interruptions. Asserting yourself with calm authority. Being interrupted during a conversation, especially in a public setting, can be incredibly frustrating. You're trying to articulate your thoughts, and suddenly someone jumps in, derailing your train of thought. The natural reaction for many is to become angry or respond sharply. However, this often escalates the situation and makes you appear less composed. So what should you do? This is where Stoic philosophy can help you handle the moment with calmness and authority. Stoicism teaches that true strength comes not from controlling others, but from controlling ourselves. In this situation, a simple, steady gaze can convey a stronger message than any words. Instead of reacting impulsively, pause, look directly at the person who interrupted you with a calm, yet focused gaze. Let the silence speak for you, communicating that their behavior is inappropriate and that you will not tolerate being disrespected. This approach not only demonstrates confidence, but also encourages the other person to reflect on their actions. Reflect on an experience where during a family dinner, I was sharing a humorous story when a relative interrupted to share their own. I felt flustered and awkward, but instead of cutting them off mid-sentence, I paused, looked at them calmly, and waited. The silence lasted only a few seconds, but it carried more weight than any words could have. They quickly realized they'd interrupted at the wrong moment, corrected themselves, and allowed me to continue. The rest of the evening progressed smoothly, and I regained control of the conversation without any drama. This strategy works particularly well in public or group settings. By staying composed and in control, you naturally draw attention. Your presence becomes stronger, and you don't need to raise your voice or argue to reclaim your space in the conversation. Stoicism teaches us not to let others' actions dictate our emotions. Instead, we use tools like body language and calmness to steer the situation without losing our dignity. Resuming the conversation. The gaze is just the beginning. Once the interruption is addressed, politely but firmly resume your point. A simple phrase like, "Let me pick up where I left off," not only asserts your right to speak, but also maintains respect for everyone involved. The goal isn't to embarrass the other person, but to set a clear expectation that respect in communication is non-negotiable. What's remarkable about this approach is that it requires no aggression or intimidation. Simply stay calm, avoid showing anger, and let your actions speak volumes. When others see you handle interruptions with confidence and intention, they'll not only respect you more, but also reflect on their own behavior. Stoicism reminds us that true power lies in maintaining self-control, even in challenging moments. The next time someone interrupts you, don't lose your cool. Stand firm, hold your gaze, and show others that you are someone worth listening to. This isn't just about earning respect. It's about expressing your self-worth in a way that's both meaningful and lasting. Tip 3. Responding to humiliating jokes. Maintaining composure and shifting the dynamic. When someone in your group of friends deliberately tries to humiliate you with a joke, your first instinct might be to feel embarrassed or upset. However, remember that the way you respond will determine the entire dynamic of the situation. This is where Stoic philosophy can be an incredibly powerful tool, helping you stay calm and take control. Relate an instance where, during a casual meetup with old friends, one of them decided to mock me in front of everyone by retelling an embarrassing story from our school days. At first, I felt my face heat up, and my immediate reaction was to fire back. Instead of letting my emotions take over, I recalled a Stoic principle: what doesn't harm your essence isn't worth your concern. Smiling, I pretended not to have heard the story and calmly asked my friend to repeat it, maintaining a composed and slightly curious demeanor. Here's the fascinating part. When the person had to retell the joke, its impact significantly diminished. Not only that, but the group started to sense the awkwardness of forcing someone to recount a joke that wasn't landing well anymore. The loud laughter from earlier faded, and the storyteller began to fumble, realizing their attempt at humiliation had backfired. The key here is that asking someone to repeat their joke not only reduces its impact, but also shows that you're unshaken. This approach allows you to maintain your composure while subtly highlighting the other person's inappropriate behavior. Even more importantly, it shifts the dynamic in your favor without resorting to retaliatory tactics or losing your dignity. By choosing this path, you send a powerful message. You're someone with inner strength who won't let small provocations dictate your emotions. This is one of the core lessons of Stoic philosophy: maintaining calm and control in the face of minor life challenges. Applying the principle effectively. To apply this principle effectively, first remember that you don't need to react instantly to every action or word. Pause, take a breath, and think. Second, use silence as a powerful weapon. Silence isn't passive. It creates space for the other person to realize their mistake. Finally, when you do respond, do it with calm confidence. A simple request for them to repeat what they said, spoken in a neutral tone, can have far more impact than arguing or fighting back. Stoicism teaches us that our reactions to uncomfortable situations reflect our character and inner values. Every time you stay calm and refuse to be drawn into negativity, you not only gain the respect of others, but also reinforce your own self-respect. The next time someone tries to mock you in front of others, remember that you have complete control over how the story ends. With calmness and clarity, you'll always come out on top. Tip 4. Deflecting provocation. The power of unrelated questions. Have you ever been in a situation where someone deliberately tried to provoke you or hurt you, and instead of reacting immediately, you managed to handle it gracefully? This requires an effective psychological technique. Consider a scenario where at a family gathering, someone makes a pointed remark about a failure in your career in front of everyone. The kind of comment that feels like a dagger to your heart, digging into a pain you've been trying to move past. Suddenly, all eyes are on you, waiting to see how you'll respond. Instead of reacting defensively or trying to explain yourself, take a brief pause, stay calm, and ask, "Hey, does anyone know a good bakery nearby? I was thinking about picking up something for the next get-together." That simple question instantly changes the energy in the room. The person trying to provoke you is left flustered, unsure of how to proceed, and the conversation quickly shifts to a new, more neutral topic. You've not only avoided escalating the situation, but also turned an uncomfortable moment into one that worked in your favor. This strategy of asking an unrelated question is more than just a clever tactic. It's a way of reclaiming control over your emotions and the situation. By interrupting the flow of provocation, you redirect attention away from the negative energy and refuse to give the instigator the satisfaction of seeing you upset. It's a perfect example of practicing Stoic principles, focusing on what you can control and refusing to let external circumstances dictate your peace of mind. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The brilliance of this technique lies in its ability to derail negativity without confrontation. A well-timed, unrelated question disrupts the instigator's train of thought, making it nearly impossible for them to continue their attempt to provoke you. At the same time, it allows you to maintain your composure and project a sense of confidence and self-control. This is a powerful way to command respect in any social situation. Maintaining natural demeanor. To make this approach work, it's essential to keep your tone and demeanor natural. If it seems forced or calculated, it might come across as insincere. Choose a simple, neutral question or comment that feels organic to the moment, something about a nearby restaurant, a recent event, or even a casual observation. The goal is not to dodge the situation awkwardly, but to shift the conversation with subtlety and ease. This technique doesn't just work in the moment. It builds long-term resilience and inner strength. By refusing to be dragged into emotional conflicts, you demonstrate to yourself and others that you're in control. People around you will notice this composure and come to respect you for it. More importantly, using this strategy is a step toward cultivating the core Stoic value of focusing on what you can control. You can't dictate how others behave, but you can decide how you respond. In doing so, you reinforce your sense of self-worth and send a clear message. You will not allow others to undermine your peace or dignity. The next time you find yourself in a situation where someone's words are aimed to provoke or hurt, remember this approach. Ask a simple, unrelated question and observe how the dynamic changes. You not only diffuse the tension, but also feel empowered by your ability to rise above it. As Marcus Aurelius wisely reminded us, true power comes from maintaining peace of mind regardless of external circumstances. By mastering this, you'll not only handle challenges with grace, but also elevate the respect others have for you in any situation. Tip 5. Walking away. A powerful act of self-respect. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you felt undervalued, disrespected, or even completely ignored? It's not a pleasant feeling, but sometimes the best way to protect your self-respect is to choose to walk away. Stoic philosophy teaches us that respect isn't something you can demand. It's something you cultivate by knowing your own worth. Sometimes, walking away isn't a sign of failure. It's a demonstration of strength and self-worth. Reflect on an experience where a friend of mine, Sarah, was an exceptional creative professional. One day, she joined a major project at her company. Instead of being recognized for her relentless efforts, she was constantly ridiculed by her manager in front of the team. They would interrupt her in meetings, dismiss her ideas, and make her feel as if her contributions didn't matter. At first, Sarah tried harder, believing she needed to prove herself. After months of frustration, she realized she didn't need to beg for respect from people unwilling to give it. A pivotal meeting changed everything. Once again, her idea was brushed aside without any reason. This time, Sarah calmly closed her laptop, stood up, and said she would put her energy into a place where it was valued. She walked out of the meeting, leaving her colleagues stunned. That same day, she submitted her resignation, not out of anger, but as an act of self-preservation. A few months later, Sarah joined another company in a leadership role, where she was not only respected, but celebrated for her talents. Sarah's story isn't just about leaving. It's about choosing where to invest your energy. Walking away isn't a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it demonstrates that you understand your value and refuse to stay in an environment that undermines it. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the only thing we can truly control is how we respond to situations. While you can't force others to respect you, you can decide not to remain in a place where respect is absent. The power of personal decision. The most powerful part of walking away is that it's not about creating drama or proving a point. It's a personal decision, quiet but resolute. It's a way of telling yourself, I am worth more than this. Marcus Aurelius emphasized, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Staying in a disrespectful environment is choosing to let others diminish your value. So, how do you know when it's time to walk away? It's when you realize that all your efforts to build respect have been met with indifference. When you feel you're constantly fighting to be recognized. Don't wait until your self-esteem has been eroded. Listen to yourself, and, if necessary, choose to leave, because being an absence that's respected is far better than being a presence that's diminished. Walking away is not about surrendering. It's about setting boundaries. Stoic philosophy teaches us not only to control our emotions, but also to safeguard our sense of worth. The next time you find yourself being devalued, remember that sometimes the most respectful action you can take is to leave the table where your worth isn't recognized. Respect isn't begged for. It's built by how you decide to treat yourself. In conclusion, navigating disrespectful situations requires a blend of self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and a commitment to upholding your own self-worth. The strategies outlined in this exploration, rooted in the wisdom of Stoic philosophy, provide a powerful framework for responding to disrespect with grace, confidence, and resilience. By mastering your inner state, setting clear boundaries, and refusing to be drawn into negativity, you can cultivate lasting respect from others and, more importantly, foster a profound sense of inner peace. Remember, true strength lies not in dominating others, but in mastering yourself. Embrace these principles, and you'll be well-equipped to navigate the challenges of interpersonal interactions with dignity and self-assurance. By incorporating these key takeaways into your daily life, you could transform challenging interactions into opportunities for growth, self-affirmation, and the cultivation of lasting respect.